Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn about environmental geography, and under this we are going to look at soil erosion. What is soil erosion? Soil erosion is a continuous process and may occur either at a relatively unnoticed rate or an alarming rate, contributing to copious loss of the topsoil. That is the definition of the term soil erosion. As we all know that erosion is a natural process which is caused by human activities. And excessive erosion causes both on-site and off-site problems. Examples of on-site impacts include decrease in agricultural productivity and also ecological collapse. And in some cases, the eventual end result in desertification. So off-site effects include sedimentation of waterways and eutrophication of water bodies, as well as sedimentation related damage to roads and houses. Soil erosion also reduces cropland productivity. Also, soil erosion contributes to pollution of adjacent water courses, wetlands, and lakes. Let's look at the term soil exhaustion. What is soil exhaustion? Soil exhaustion basically means the loss of nutrients in soil through farming the same crop over and over again. This mostly happens in rainforest. There are some crops such as corn exhaust soil quickly, while others such as beans actually take nitrogen from the atmosphere and replenish the soil. So soil exhaustion occurs when poorly managed soil are no longer able to support the crops and other plant life. This soil exhaustion can be prevented in a number of ways. Commercial farms often reapply commercial fertilizers every year, but this can be expensive and damaging to the environment. The natural compost from animal waste can be added, which is a more natural way to prevent soil exhaustion. But it too can damage the environment from water runoff. So a better way to prevent soil exhaustion is to do crop rotation. I think you all know what crop rotation is. Also, cover crops can also prevent soil exhaustion by protecting the soil from erosion. There are some factors that affect soil erosion. And the factors affecting soil erosion can be divided into two categories, that is natural and human induced. Precipitation and slope steepness comprise of natural factors for the most part, while human factors consist of development of activities related to agriculture, mining, and construction. So these activities generally remove the protective vegetation cover, resulting in accelerated erosion by both water and wind. Natural factors commonly affect the upper soil layer as compared to human-induced factors. Both contribute a significant amount of soil loss due to water and wind erosion. So the main cause of soil erosion are overgrazing, deforestation, and agricultural activities. Overgrazing causes degradation when the soil loses its fertility and sparse vegetation cover. So the major factors affecting soil erosion are, we have the climatic factors, and under that we can explain a little bit. We can say that the amount and intensity of precipitation is the main climatic factors governing soil erosion by water. Another factor is topography. I think we all understand what topography means. We can explain by saying that topography of the land determines the velocity at which surface runoff will flow, which in turn determines the erosivity of the runoff. Longer or steeper slopes are more susceptible to very high rates of erosion during heavy rains than shorter, less steep slopes. Steeper terrain is also more prone to mudslides, landslides, and other forms of gravitational erosion process. We have another one, which is soil erodibility. Soil erodibility is an estimate of the ability of the soil to resist erosion based on the physical characteristics of each soil. You can say under that, texture is the principal characteristic affecting erodibility, but structure, organic matter, and permeability also contribute to it. We can look at the other factor, which is deforestation. Deforestation causes increased erosion rates due to exposure of mineral soil by removing the humus and litter layers from the soil surface, removing the vegetative cover that builds soil together, and causing heavy soil compaction from logging equipment. Once trees have been removed by fire or logging, infiltration rates become high and erosion low to the degree the forest floor remains intact. Severe fire can lead to significant further erosion if followed by heavy rainfall. So globally, one of the largest contributors to erosive soil loss in the year 2016 is the slash and the burn treatment of the tropical forest. Another factor is, that's factor number 5, is agriculture. It also causes the worst type of soil erosion on farmland in the form of wash-off or sheet erosion. We have agricultural practices that can lead to accelerated soil erosion. Number 1 is tilling or plowing. This increases the chances of erosion because it disturbs the natural soil surface and protects vegetation. Another one is continuous cropping. Continuous cropping of the same land and extending of cultivation of marginal and submarginal land encourages soil erosion. And the other one is cultivation on mountain slopes. Cultivation on mountain slopes without appropriate land treatment measures such as ponding, terracing, and trenching can cause soil erosion and loss of nutrients. We have types of soil erosion. A soil erosion is a soil erosion in nature may be a slow process or a fast process promoted by deforestation, floods, or other human activity. These two processes are explained below. That's number one, we have geological erosion, and the other one is accelerated erosion. About the geological erosion is a slow process that continues relatively unnoticed and has been occurring for millions of years. The first phase of soil forming process is called weathering, which is a socio-chemical process that leads to the breakdown of rocks by wind and water into small fragments. We have accelerated erosion. This occurs when the protective vegetative cover is destroyed. This may occur due to natural causes like flooding or due to human activities. Soil erosion is also classified on the basis of physical agent responsible for soil. And we have various types of erosion. We have water erosion, wind erosion, and mass wasting. Well, under water erosion, we have splash erosion, sheet erosion, yeah, that is it. Then wind erosion. Wind erosion is a major geomorphologic force, especially in arid and semi-arid regions. We can say wind erosion is of two primary varieties. The deflation. Deflation is where the wind picks up and carries away loose particles. And abrasion. Abrasion is where surfaces are worn down and they are stuck by airborne particles carried by wind. And that is, we can say deflation is divided into three categories. Number one is surface creep. Number two is siltation. And the other one is suspension. And under surface creep, this is where large or heavy particles slide or roll along the ground. Siltation is where particles are lifted a shot high into the air and bounce and salted across the surface of the soil. Whereas suspension is where very small and light particles are lifted into the air by the wind and are often carried for long distances. That is the end of our lesson. Thank you for being good students. For any question, you can raise your hand. I'll be able to answer. Otherwise, if there is no question, have a good day. Bye.